This is music, and this is the blizzardous winter of Wang. Welcome to another episode of Winter of Wang or Summer of Simon. I don't even know anymore. What I do know is that this is the third season in the Summer of Simon sub-series within the First Impressions series on this channel. And what I do in these videos is I follow up on a crazy and very generous VCLT I was sent a while back by none other than Simon Pieface, the legend better known as Wang. And yeah, he sent me a super generous VCLT full of CDs. And in this video, I'm going to talk about three of them, starting with this one here, Rephoria Exorcism. I believe it's a Swedish band. And this, to my ears, is a blend of traditional heavy metal and thrash metal. And at the end of the day, I do consider it a fully fledged thrash metal album. This is definitely stuff we would consider thrash metal back in the day, at least in the crew I would hang out with. Uh, so you have your fast, thrashy parts with aggressive riffs, and you also have some kind of like mid-tempo, more like Exodus-like parts, I would say. And that's why I think this is mainly a thrash metal album, but it does have a lot of traditional heavy metal elements, some of the riffs, and in particular the vocals sound more like something you would hear on a modern traditional heavy metal album. I know that's an oxymoron, but whatever. Or a modern hard rock album than you would hear on a thrash metal album. They are quite intense though, and I do suspect that they would be an acquired taste to a lot of people. I was just lucky enough that the vocals clicked with me right away. And this is actually a brilliant album. I really had a blast listening to this. Um, maybe it has elements of power metal to it as well. Maybe kind of like power thrash. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's awesome. And if you like thrash metal along the lines of maybe artillery, this should be right up your alley. I enjoyed this a whole lot. Excellent stuff. Up next, we have Savage Messiah, Fateful Dark, also thrash metal, also with a lot of emphasis on melody, also with traditional heavy metal elements in it, but it sounds very, very different, I would say. In terms of the approach, this is more in the territory of Testament, I would say. So those precise riffs, sometimes kind of technical riffs, sometimes kind of groovy almost, fast drum beats, also mid-tempo parts that kind of remind me of old school Metallica as well. So I think that's interesting. And Heathen, Flotsam and Jetsam, that's kind of style, if you know what I mean. The vocals are clean and melodic, and they actually do remind me of what you would hear on, recent Artillery albums after they had their comeback back in the late 2000s, I think it was. Um, Excellent album. Fantastic. And what I do like is it has bursts of melody all over the place. This is awesome. And a really cool thing they do is that in the choruses, they just go completely melodic, so you can sing along, and it's quite memorable. I think that's really really neat, and I really enjoy that as well. So this is an excellent thrash metal album. Like again, if you like your Heathen, Flotsam and Jetsam, if you like your Testament, if you even like your like old school Metallica, this is really, really good. Definitely enjoyable. And up last, we have this one here, also Savage Messiah, Plague of Conscience. very similar in style. This one to me seems more melodic, but maybe it's just something I'm making up in my head. Um, the vocals also sound even cleaner and more melodic on here. Again, maybe I'm making this up in my head. I also kind of get maybe Latter Day Death Angel vibes off of this one, which I didn't get from the other Savage Messiah album. But this is great. The guitar solos are tasty and melodic in places. They're shreddy in other places, and they're kind of virtuosic even in some other places. And one thing that I think is really cool is that there are also like elements in some of the songs that kind of have a maybe Operation Mindcrime, Empire kind of era, Queensryche vibe to them, which I think is pretty cool. So this is a great album. Maybe my favorite song on this album is All Seeing Eye, which is a very good example of the combination of just all out fast and aggressive thrash, and then very, very melodic and sing along friendly choruses. I also quite like Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt, which is almost like I wouldn't call it a ballad, but it's more melodic, m- maybe something you would hear, or similar, I should say, to something you would hear on an early, I don't know, Vicious Rumors album, or I don't know why I'm thinking of the song Children by Vicious Rumors, because Beyond the Shadow of a Doubt is not as ballady as that one. Um, but it's a really cool song, very melodic, and it's just an interesting kind of change of pace, I guess. But yeah, these two Savage Messiah albums are great, and I enjoy them much, much more than their album Hands of Fate, which is not a bad album by any stretch of the imagination. But what these two albums have going for them is they're full of thrash metal. They're thrash metal albums, and Hands of Fate doesn't really have any thrash metal, in my opinion, on it. It's more like a heavy metal album with even like alternative metal in it. Still a good album, but I just enjoy these Thrashers much more. So there you go. Three thrash metal albums, in my opinion. Um, check him out on your own, see if you like him, and go and check out Pieface, Simon Pieface's channel, which is called Pieface. Give him some support. He is a very supportive member of the vinyl community and very generous too. So why don't you go back and give him some support? His channel should be right up your alley if you like extreme metal and if you like CD collecting. Go and check out Pieface's channel. For now, thanks for watching.